Hey guys, Noi here. Look, I haven't quit yet. Anyway, I'd just like to thank the support I've been getting from you guys. I know I'm a small channel, but the level of support is pretty cool. But anyway, new week, new features. And for Monday, I want to implement some platformer-like movements like double jumping, as well as addressing a few bugs. So implementing double jump was pretty easy. While the player is grounded, he has 2 jumps he can do, and this counter is reset every time he lands. And all I'm doing is when I jump a second time, I just call the same jump function. However, as you can see, I'm having an animation error where it looks like my player is stuck in jump animation. After some brainstorming, I was able to get that fixed. He no longer gets stuck in his animation when he lands. All I had to do was add a simple equals sign here and voila, it works. I still think the jump force needs some tweaking. It does look like he's jumping on the moon or something. After talking to people on my Discord, link here, they suggested I watch Jonas Tyroller's, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, video on how to easily improve your platformer. So now you can cue a jump just before you land so it feels more smoother between jumps. And there's also some forgiveness when you walk off an edge. It gives you like 0.2 seconds extra to jump. And finally, I decided not to use force for jumping, but to use velocity. This was because if I jumped when I was falling, it would apply the jump force against the falling force, so I would never reach the same height as my initial first jump. And again, based on the comments from my last video, I decided to implement my old camera system, and here is the code on how it works. A bunch of magic. Anyway, it still needs some tweaking still, but I think it's a bit better than before. A lot has been done for today, let's hope I can keep up the pace. Coffee. Anyway, so today's plan is to implement a one-way platform and add a wall jumping / sliding mechanic. Let's go. So originally I was going to implement this by having the tile having 2 separate colliders. However, Unity has these amazing things called effects, and all I had to do to enable it was to set my map collider to is used by effector, and then I can just add in Unity's platform effect, and it's easy as 1, 2, 3. I wish I realized this a lot sooner, or I wouldn't have wasted like 30 minutes trying to implement it another way. Oh well. And what good is a platformer without some wall sliding and wall jumping? This feature was a bit difficult because it was the first time I've ever used raycasting. And as you can see, I can slide and jump off walls. However, there is a bug where I get stuck on the tiles when sliding down. I do know of a fix, but I just forgot to implement it today. Anyway, back to what I was saying. The raycast checks to see if I'm hitting a wall, and then I apply a negative velocity to me and freeze my X velocity. This makes me slide down the wall. And for wall jumping, fortunately I didn't have to write any additional code, it worked out of the box. But this does lead me to one question. I'm not sure if having wall sliding / jumping really adds anything to the game. What I was thinking of adding was a jetpack like in Soldat, I think that's how you pronounce it. This seems to add more freedom to the players and more opportunities in how they can move. They're not like stuck to the ground. So it could make for interesting gameplay, but who knows. So what do you guys think? Keep wall jumping and sliding, or remove it and add a jetpack? It's Wednesday, my dudes. I don't have a lot of time to develop things today, so I'll be focusing on implementing your guys' feedback and tweaking some of the firing a bit, and as well as some bug fixing. But anyway, first to do some bug fixing. I was unable to fix my character randomly getting stuck when sliding down walls due to time constraints, so I need to fix that today. But as you can see, it might need some more configuration. After ticking that my tilemap collider 2D is used by composite, all I had to do was change the rigid body from dynamic to static, and that's it. And as you can see, it works. Easy fixes are always the best. Oh, and yeah, I'm no longer getting stuck to the walls. So now it's time to tackle some viewer feedback, notably the bullets being too small and the screen shake being too much. This didn't take too long to fix, but how is it now? And guys, feel free to suggest more things. I only have one brain, so I can't think of everything. since there is a little light left in the day, I'll try to tackle some more bugs. So I want my gun to have like a shooting spread, because right now all the bullets go to exactly the same spot, which is a bit OP. So by having some random bullet spread, I feel that it makes the game feel more real. It was really easy to implement. All I did was change the angle that it fires from to be a random value between two values. I've also noticed that my bullets seem to be shooting a bit below where my crosshair is. Whoops, I was updating the wrong transform. Unfortunately, this week again has been a bit hectic, so this will be the final day for this devlog. But that doesn't mean we won't get any vital features done. Today let's figure out how to pick up and drop our weapon. So I was able to get our player to equip the gun by having a trigger on the gun, and when the player enters the triggers the trigger, it will set the parent transform of the gun to primary gun here, which is where our hand is and where our hand rotates. Thus, it will mimic the rotation and movement of our hand, as it's a child of this object. This works quite well and all, but when the gun is on the floor, I can still shoot, which doesn't seem like a good idea. Fixing this was, easy as always. All I had to do was check if the gun was equipped, and if it wasn't, don't take an input from the player. Now that the player can pick up a weapon, all they need to do is to be able to drop it. Now, this one was a bit of a doozy. It took a lot longer than I hoped, and I have a pretty hacky solution. Firstly, I had to add a rigid body to it so that I could apply physics to it. However, this means my trigger box collider would cause it to fall through the ground, like here. So I had to add another collider to it so that when it falls, it actually collides with the ground. But this was only the half of it. It gets more complicated, but I feel like if I go into more detail about it, it will just take up the entire video and bore you guys. But if you guys really want to know how I implemented player item pickup and dropping, leave me a comment and I'll try to make a tutorial on it. Anyway guys, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for more. See ya!